Welcome back, everyone. This is Cody Hart for Government Accountability. Today, I wanted to update everyone on something that I have been thinking about and wondering how to explain to people what I think has been going on with our judiciary. For those who have been following, I have exposed a number of corrupt judges. In Skagit County, we have Judge Brian Stiles, Thomas Verge, Laura Okwelme, and recently a Snohomish County Judge, William Steffener, in a recall hearing. And their acts of misconduct and their corruption it's undisputed at this point. And there's been a lot of frustration because the judges appear to be working with the prosecuting attorney's office to prevent any accountability by the people, we the people. The lawyers in the county appear all to be on the same side. I will just tell you, it has been horrific what I have seen. The corruption has just been endless. And I found something I think is very related to it. It's a matter of law in the state that many people just don't know has happened. So first off, I wanted to talk about a word called subversive and subversion and what it really means. And so start off slow here. We'll read just the basic Webster's Dictionary version of it. A systematic attempt to overthrow or undermine a government or political system by persons working secretly from within. Well, I've known about this. I've been in federal cases, and it brought this to the federal court's attention. You'll see here in Chapter 115, treason, sedition, and subversive activities. These are laws that have been around a long time. And a lot of these on the subversion were a result of the communist attempt to take over the world back in the post-World War II era. And these laws have been around since then. This one, 1953. And so when we go and read in on it, what does the U.S. Code say? Section 2385 of that. And it talks about it in great detail. I'll encourage people to read it. So these are federal laws. And so I've had such a bad experience here in Washington State, and specifically from people within the government. Who are refusing to allow elections. They are interfering in elections. They're obstructing elections. And they're a part of what I have found to be some of the most significant election fraud and corruption in our nation. And so I thought it would be interesting to point out to you what I found not too long ago looking at state laws on this. And so I'll point you out to Crimes and Punishments. RCW 9 is where you find these under state code, revised code of Washington. And if you go specifically to RCW 9.81, subversive activities, there it is there as well. Makes sense. We don't want to have our government overthrown from people within it, do we? So when we go to this, you will find all of these previous laws were repealed in 2023. So I kept going and I kept finding what was this all about, why and when and what happened here. And so what it was this bill right here, 5087. And upon reading it, you will find that it passed and became law earlier this year. This document right here is a bill report on this, and what its summary is and what it says here is removing language from the revised code of Washington that has been identified by the justices of the Supreme Court or judges of the Superior Court as defects and omissions in the laws of Washington State. And when you read this, who sponsored this bill? It was requested by the Attorney General. And what did it do? If you go in and read it, you'll read it. It says the following acts or parts of acts are each repealed. And it was this bill this year that repealed the crime of subversive activities in the state of Washington. I hate to tell people where this is going. I have accused them of overthrowing the government in my political subdivision, which is a county government, the county of Skagit, participating in massive election crimes throughout the state of Washington. And the judicial system is eliminating how they can be held accountable as fast as they can. I don't know how else to interpret this. As I pointed out, Judge Will Stephaner is as dirty as they get. Brian Stiles, Laura Raquelme, Thomas Verge, they've all been caught red-handed, interfering, obstructing the people, we the people, from electing our government and having a lawful government. And they seem to be in charge of the whole thing when it comes down to it. So, we all know about separation of powers, and no branch should have control over the other branches. But right now, the judicial branch is in charge of our elections. They've taken control of them, and I do believe that they are a significant player. More than likely, they have been participating through what I have exposed to control the government in the state of Washington, to overthrow county governments, to get the people in here they want. And I know it sounds horrific, but it's what I've seen. It's what I think is really happening. And I'm fearful for all of us. And I want everyone to keep their eyes open on this stuff, expose it whenever you can. I think that we need to get louder about this and get rid of the judicial interference in our elections and hold the corrupt political people accountable however we can. So that was my update for today, everyone. It's a lot to think about. I encourage you to read up on these statutes, RCWs, and the constitutional provisions, the U.S. Code provisions, and ask yourself and ask those who say they represent you why it would be legal to overthrow our government, why they think now, after 70 years of this law to try to protect us and protect our Constitution, they think it's appropriate right now in 2023 not to have laws in place to protect us, we the people, and our government for being overthrown by those within it. So thank you again, everyone. Talk to you soon.